Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Classified dial tone. And man, I was a huge fan of dial tone. I think I still am. Of the original, the O-ring. I don't know what it was. If it was the big backpack and the microphone that came down. I always loved his gun. I didn't care that it was white. It didn't really matter. And even that this guy was pretty much a shooting target for a sniper. I just always like this, and from what I saw, I really like the updates on this. So we're going to take a look at this guy here. We're going to take a look at everything that he has. We're going to compare him to the original O-ring. That's probably one of my original ones. I have like 3 different dial tones for some reason. 3 of the same ones, not different versions. But here we can see him with everything that he does come with. And like I said, what I can see, I kind of like his updates. Here on the side, we can see he's number 149. Got some nice artwork right there. On here, we have the QR code that takes you straight to hell. You get these attributes that I think are supposed to be a file card. I don't know. I don't think anyone understands them, and not many people read them, if anyone does. And then on the back, we have the actual posing, the photography of this guy. And then they always kind of show you a couple other things just to highlight the what he has on him. Maybe the art deco, different things like that. So that's what they want to kind of show you. But anyway, I don't want to look at this anymore. I want to see him outside, how he poses, what he comes with, and if these accessories are actually pretty good, because I actually like what I see, to be 100% honest. I know a lot of people don't. But anyway, let's get right into this. But before we do, please, if you like this type of stuff, you like G.I. Joe Classified, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, then hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a classified video. Alright, so we got them out. Let's take a look at them, and as we always do, we like to start with the accessories. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is this knife. No paint apps on it. I mean, again, I think the blade should always be painted. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense that it doesn't, but I think this guy comes with enough that I'm going to be able to kind of ignore all that. You can see the nice handle there. It even has what looks to be like maybe a couple little rivets right there, kind of holding it together, and then you can kind of see the blade. So, and then we get his microphone, his megaphone. I don't know if I expect Jimmy Hart to be coming out with this and screaming through it. What this really tells me is that we're going to get a psych out, because they have to reuse this figure, or reuse this like everything else that they do. So anyway, it's just got the handle. It's a listening device. He's able to listen to it. Maybe he's working the sidelines of the NFL games, and this is how he's cueing in to hear what the quarterback is saying, what the defensive end is saying. You guys kind of get it, but nice little detail to it. Nothing too much. I can't tell you if it's anything real or not. And then we get to his rifle. And on the rifle here, we're going to have a removable magazine. It has this big latch up here that is for the phone. We have a stock, which is meant to look like it's collapsible. You got the trigger right there. You got the ventilation for the barrel. What looks like a built-in suppressor. Got the port for blast effects. What I would assume is a small flashlight right there. The rail system, which looks like it's probably a laser pointer, which actually makes sense, because then we get to the phone. And on the phone here, all we're going to see is a play and a pause button. Trying to decide which. No, it must be this way, because that's play, pause. Right at the bottom, probably telling you right there what he's listening to. I'm assuming it's like Sick of It All, Pennywise, Bad Religion, stuff like that. And then even on the back here, you can tell he has some sort of cover for it. And then he has the camera and the flash. So pretty cool, in my opinion. I like this. Now, the way that this is supposed to work is that this slides right through here. And he's looking at this. Now, I would assume he's not looking at music. I kind of look at this as he's not only a communication officer, a communications guy, but he also maybe has some sort of special bullets that maybe he can track Maybe the laser pointer points them exactly where they're at, but he can see on the display exactly what he's going to hit. Maybe it's thermal. I understand you can't see through this. I also understand these are action figures and they can't see for real either. So, but if you don't like it, remove it. Take a razor, cut that off, and guess what? Then you have your iron sight. You don't have to worry about this, and you're all good to go. And then onto his backpack, and ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, I like this. Hopefully it stays on. So quickly looking at the inside of it, you can kind of see how it's going to supposedly connect. Obviously you have the peg here. It looks like you have some wires because it's going to be running straight up through. Looking at this now, I'm assuming this is some sort of maybe a microphone so he can hear. You have this long stem up here, which obviously drops down. Now, I remember people saying that they said this was for the eyesight. I've always thought that this was for a speaker. Someone let me know if they remember exactly what they said and if they changed it. You know, maybe I'll reach out to Lenny and ask him. So, on the side here, we got a couple pouches. I'm not really sure. It looks like just some other pouch right there. What looks like a fan, maybe to cool this thing down. I'm assuming this thing's going to run fairly hot. All right. Now, a little bit of paint right there. You obviously have the black. We have this, I don't know if it's an optic or what, but we'll look when we look at the original one and you'll see that it might be there. And then right here too. So I'm assuming these are supposed to be some sort of like GoPros. Maybe there's some sort of satellite or not satellite, but what the military guns are using on the like the Apaches and different things like that. All right, but looking at this bag, it does look pretty cool. It definitely has a nice design. And then on the back here, we got a little bit more electronics. This is kind of snapped on. And then we have this half moon right here. And of course, what they did was they made it so this flips down and you have this computer. And they did a nice job of putting a little bit of a screen there. Maybe it's not a this is a listening device. I guess it's not a computer because those are not, it's not a keyboard. This is an equalizer. So he can, I'm assuming now he can amp up the sound on things. All right. And if you do look, let's see if I can get some light in there. There is stuff inside of there. So they didn't spare any details going on, you know, just kind of printing on the inside. What it is, I can't fully tell you, and I'm not going to sit there and try and blow smoke up your ass saying, oh, this is exactly what it is. They're trying to modernize things, and I'm perfectly fine with that. It's something different. This isn't realistic from what I know. So there you go. That is the backpack. I guess before we do look at the figure, let's take a look at the backpack and let's take a look at the gun and compare the two. Now, like I said, I've always loved this gun. It's not a real gun, people. It's some sort of submachine gun. You can see the air vents throughout the barrel. A collapsible stock, which I never noticed. And so if you take this one here, you can see they did kind of recreate it. All right. From the air vents throughout the barrel there. The magazine looks fairly similar. It's got a collapsible stock, so they try to recreate that. It looks like the best of their ability. Now we'll take a look at this. And but there's nothing on the inside here. All right. But on the side, we got the two half circles. And you know, I never noticed that. I never noticed this right here. Look at that. So maybe that's exactly what that was supposed to be because it looks pretty similar. It doesn't move or anything. But they painted it, so that looks good. They give you a half moon here, where this is almost the whole circle. And you can see all the design cues going all the way up to it. Even up to the top right here. You got these two looking cylinders and then the top piece. They kind of did the same thing right there. Again, I love what they do when they kind of recreate this stuff. And of course, See, that looks more like an eyepiece, but I could be completely wrong. So please let me know in the comments if you remember what they said and maybe what stream they said it on. It looks like this one has a little bit more detail on it, the actual O-ring, than this one, at least on the outside. But that's okay because maybe it doesn't need all the detail. But all right. So now let's take a look at this figure. And like I said, I really like dial tone. I've always liked dial tone. I think kids know what a dial tone is. I don't think that's really something that is outdated. So first, he has his removable beret with his little insignia on it. I'm assuming that's whatever branch he's from. Not even branch, but maybe division that he's in. And we need to move this up here. All right. So, quickly looking at this guy here. The eyes look good. Another mustache, man. They do love their mustaches. Some real nice hair. That looks really good. We're not seeing issues with the paint anymore, which I think most people are pretty happy with. I love the fact that he has this communicator here, so we can listen in on everything. Again, this is what he would be doing for sure. He's got the bandolier that runs across with one grenade and a smoke bomb, concussion grenade. A couple little pouches right here. All right. It looks like he put his fanny pack up here. Little pouch on his arm, which I do believe we can move back and forth so they can use this for other figures. Onto his bracelets or his gloves, whatever if it's all part of it. It looks like it's well, there's a little wrench on it. There's some Allen wrenches. Look at that. So we got some Allen wrenches right there. I think maybe zoom in a little bit. So you got some Allen wrenches right there. Not really sure what those are. You got a wrench right there. And a couple nails. So he has some tools. And on this side he has a watch, which is set to 12 o'clock. Up here he has his insignia. I can't read. It's even worse when I'm looking through this phone. Telcom. And it looks like it is a zebra? A tiger? It looks like a horse or something like that. With some sort of lightning bolt through it. And then you got the nice detail on the... all this nice little detail right up here. Textured. Got some pouches around his belt. Here we have the piece for his phone. Again, this is I think my dad wears one. I'm gonna be nice about it. Don't be that guy wearing this. Just don't be that guy. Unless you're really old, then you can. Looks like he has another radio of some sort right here, buckled in. I really like the way this looks because it's kind of just latched in over, but you can tell this is some sort of bungee cord that is kind of wrapped around so it stays on there. He's got the knee pads, sheath for the knife, and then he has the boots that are kind of cuffed right up underneath here. So that's where your boot cut is going to be. Let's quickly take a look at his articulation. And I guess I should show you also, the headpiece goes all the way down and wraps around. It looks like he's wearing a choker chain, but in actuality, it's just the wire. So, you can only look up so far. Very disappointing. I really wish this is something they should address. They should go back so they can look up more. Look down. And the crazy thing is, this thing is sitting not only on a neck joint, but also on the ball peg for the head. He can look side to side. As for his T-pose, perfectly fine. No issues there. He's got the bicep cut, double pinless joints. Then his wrists are going to obviously swivel. All right. He has an overlay here. So he does have the ab crunch. You can see it right there. It actually does look pretty well, or does move pretty well. You can look down there. He can look up, and then his body is on a joint also. This is something that I didn't realize. Even though doing Marvel Legends, I don't have a whole bunch, but I have enough that they don't have this. Theirs is just a straight cut, and people absolutely hate it. The Marvel Legends guys absolutely hate it. There is his Jean-Claude Van Damme. Drop down hips, so it's easier to fit them into vehicles. You can kick straight up like that. Thigh joint, or thigh cuts. Double pinless knees. And if you're wondering why I do this, well, it's just for the fact that there's a lot of people that are getting into the G.I. Joe line. They may not know what all this stuff is, so they want to know. Boot cuts on both of them, and then you have your ankle rockers, so they should be easy to pose. All right. So let's put this all down. He does have butterfly joints. I keep forgetting to kind of mention the butterfly joints because really they're useless. You can't really do anything. Can't cross his arms over, especially not with this overlay right here. All right, I want to push this back up. I gotta say, this thing here is already starting to annoy me. I don't know why you didn't just put it on the vest, other than it means that other figures are gonna have this overlay with these over it. Probably do probably some cost cutting there, but let's see if we can get this right back up here. All right. Now let's throw the beret on them and compare them to the O-ring figure and see how close it is for some of you. Again, this guy, you can already tell they have it locked and loaded to do a retro card probably very soon. So, looking at the head sculpt, I think you're pretty much dead on. He's got the same little insignia that's on the beret there. Looking at his bandolier, he's got the pouches there and all the way down, same as here. And then you have the concussion grenade and the regular grenade, both up here on that side of the chest. He has the same insignia, at least I think it is. Mine has seen better days, that is for sure. Except for his is on the side, but that's perfectly fine. And you can see that they threw this up here, so he has the same type of... This looks more like a communicator than anything. Down here on his wrist, all right, I wouldn't say that it has tools on it, but it's clearly meant to have something on it. And here we see he has the tools. And over on this side, it does look like it might be a watch, and that's what they gave him. Onto his waist, they gave him the pouches right here on his belt, which has him right there. And then he does have the silver buckle right there. And look at that. Right on the side, it has some sort of communication device on both sides. Green knee pads. Boots are very similar. And look, he even has a knife right down there to sheath into. And someone's going to complain, well, he doesn't have a pouch on this side. Well, you don't get everything that you want. All right. Now let's kind of arm him up, and let's see how he looks, see how he poses. Let's see if we can stand him without a stand. I mean, we can. We'll figure out a way with that big old backpack. So, got that there. Gonna throw the phone in right here. I think the phone would probably go in the other way under normal circumstances, because I'm gonna assume you don't want the you don't want Cobra. And it goes in this way. I think it goes in this way because like there's actually a lip. It goes in this way. There's a lip that stops it. All right. You don't want Cobra seeing the illuminated screen right there. Throw his beret back on. All right. Backpack. Now, unfortunately, we seem to be having... Well, this one actually fits good. A lot of the Joes, I have not had a lot of good luck with the backpacks. The peg is a little too long, but more than anything, the hole in their back isn't as isn't as deep as it should be. I know, that's what she said. And I forgot to mention, the gun is straight. It has a thickness to it. It's not going to break because you actually have to bend the stock a little bit. But this is the tolerance that we have been wanting, and I don't think it's a problem. And, ooh, this thing is going to get lost. So just be careful with that. We're not going to lose it. At least not on my desk. Or on my table, not a desk. So, let's see here. And first things first, we can get him listening in for Cobra. See what's going on. Or maybe he's listening into what Snake Eyes and Scarlet did the night before. We know we're not listening to Snake Eyes. Maybe he's listening to what Baroness and, well, Destro did the night before. Maybe he just has a dirty mind, or maybe I do. I don't know. Down here. So it does look like it can be a microphone. Also looks like it could be an eyesight. But if it goes down all the way, I think it's supposed to be the microphone form. I don't know. You guys can decide. You guys can tell me. Does this thing connect anywhere? I don't see that connecting anywhere to this. I'm going to take this off. Flip this over. And I do like the, I definitely do like the submachine gun. I do think it looks nice. I've always liked, like I said earlier, I've always liked the O-ring. It's not realistic. Maybe this makes it easier. He can kind of see what's going on. Maybe this allows him to aim, since the camera is pointed right to where he needs it to be. All right. And let's just say the backpack is, that backpack is big. There's no doubt about that at all. All right. We can kind of get him onto the one knee. It seems like he's kind of overkill with maybe the sounds and everything. Considering, like I said, it looks like it's kind of like a speaker up there. So he's got the communication. But either way. So there we go. I don't know why I have dial tone acting like he's Professor X. And I was trying to get him to be like touching this piece. Anyway, there you go. There he is trying to hear what the plays are being called in the NFL game. All right. I think that's about it. You can see he stands. He actually does stand with his backpack. So that is, that's a plus, because I'll be honest, I was kind of worried. We've seen how some of these guys don't really stand all that well, especially when they have a big backpack. His I don't really have an issue with. Let's wrap this up. All right, so there you go. That is my dial tone review. And I mentioned before, this microphone, or I keep wanting to say it's a megaphone. This pretty much means you're going to get psych out. We're going to get psych out. I just can't stop seeing it as Jimmy Hart jumping around, yelling at the Hart Foundation. He jumps in the ring. I know it's not a megaphone, but man, I just cannot not see it. And when you show me a megaphone, I know it looks a little bit different. But either way, there he is. If you like him, go pick him up. I really liked dial tone as a kid. I don't know why. Maybe this is one of my guilty pleasures. I know someone asked me recently, what obscure figure did you like that other people didn't? I always liked dial tone. Even with, I loved his gun. I loved the backpack. There was something really cool about how it just kind of flipped down. But either way, he is available. I got him from Amazon. He should be showing up everywhere. Entertainment Earth will probably be shipping him out soon. CMD Store has them. So don't go on eBay. Don't spend crazy prices. They're going to come soon enough. This one's going to be readily available on stores, or at least on the online stores. BBTS, Entertainment Earth, Hella Dope Toys, places like that. So I'm going to get out of here. You stayed this long. Please take a second. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop this. Now, don't go anywhere, because you're like, hey, you must have other videos. And you're like, hell yeah, I do. Right up here is the Xandar video, and down here is going to be the playlist of all the G.I. Joe classified figures that I've done. Take care.